Greetings, earthlings, wisdom keepers, wisdom seekers. Welcome back to WizdomDropz, your source for daily drops of wisdom and savvy cat astrology. I am your astrologer, Tonia, and today we're talking all about the sign of Aquarius. And I know the wind's a little crazy. I'm at the soccer fields right now. It's really cool out here, but yeah, we're gonna talk about Aquarius. I'm gonna find a tree over here to chill with, and hopefully the wind is a little bit better. So by the end of this video, hopefully you learn something new or think something originally new to yourself about the sign of Aquarius. And if you are an Aquarius, this video is for you. That's an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant. Or if you know anybody who's an Aquarius in your life, this video is for you. So let's talk about it. Aquarius is known by the ancients as the water bearer, and isn't that incredible because it's an air sign and it's fixed air at that, so it's like the last sign that you would think to be associated with water, but it is. And it's also the sign that symbolizes the nurturance of people, in that it is the liberative force of the zodiac. It is the Awakener of the zodiac. If you haven't seen the video I just did on Uranus, go ahead and check that out, because there's a lot of information on the planet that rules Aquarius. I also just did a video on Saturn, so check that out, because I was talking a lot about Capricorn in that video, but Saturn is the classical or ancient ruler of Aquarius, and the modern ruler is Uranus. So anyway, Aquarius is the 11th sign of the zodiac, and it corresponds with the 11th house. So it's all about social groups at a larger level of social. It's a larger level of awareness of the self within the context of society. So what do I mean by that? I mean, Aquarius, yeah, it is the awakener to social injustices. It is the awakener to persecution. It is the awakener to injustice in all forms. And by the awakener, I mean it can either be the liberator or the very dark, maniacal imposer of such energies. And when you start to think about the dichotomy of any given sign, the fact that there's always a high and low vibration of any given energy accessible to us, then you can start to see how the poles of Aquarius energy can be very bright and very dark, because at the one end there's the liberator, right? The thing that you know Aquarius is for, being the rebel and the people who stand up for social justice, the people out there in the streets marching, the people out there who are causing social justice movements. Martin Luther King Jr. was an Aquarius, okay? He had really strong Aquarius energy. And that's kind of like who you can think of when you think of like Aquarius, right? I think of one of my best friends who's like a total just badass and very like spiritual about it, because Uranus, right, is the awakener of that. But it's always in service at its highest level, at its most high vibration. Aquarius is always in service to others. But the thing that people misinterpret about Aquarius is that it's at the end of the day about others and in service to others, but its motivation is the self, and its motivation is to preserve its own self-interest, which is true freedom, which is liberation of identity. Because look at its opposite sign, Leo. Leo rules the heart, okay? Aquarius is what's like far out there, like aliens and extraterrestrials and advanced technologies and like, you know, just like far out there stuff that's like totally just next level weird, okay? But what is it in service to? If you look at its opposite sign, the heart, love, okay? It's advancement and freedom and liberation and reducing restriction. It's like chains coming off. That's the energy of Aquarius. In service to the collective, yes, but in service to one's own motivations, in service to one's own unique identity. Because if they themselves, as Aquarius energy people, cannot be free and examples of free sovereign beings, then nobody else around them can be, and vice versa. If nobody else around them can be free, then Aquarius can't be free. And that's why Aquarius energy people are some of the most free thinking, generally speaking, free thinking people on the planet. Because when you have Aquarius energy, you see the box and you say, okay, that's a box, that's cool, but guess what? I'm not in it. I understand the box, I understand the purpose of the box. The box is there to contain, to put something in it. It's there to hold something. They might even see the merit of a box. But oftentimes Aquariuses don't tend to identify with the box. They're not in the box kind of people. They're outside of that box. They're beyond the box. They understand that boxes in and of themselves are not permanent structures. They understand that boxes are just confining, rigid, bordered things, in which, from some Aquarius's view, are meant to be broken, are meant to be exceeded beyond. Perhaps to an Aquarius, a box is a metaphor for something on which to build, something on which to go beyond, because it can only contain so much, right? So that's kind of like a little bit of the philosophy of Aquarius. As a fixed air sign, it's firmly rooted in social justice. It's firmly rooted in the interests of the collective, in the social interests. Aquarius people are usually very intelligent, especially if you have a Mercury in Aquarius. Congratulations, indeed. But, it's truly an energy that's motivated by its own, yes, selfish interests, but at the end of the day, how that shows up is in service to others. And that's not to knock on Aquarius energy at all. It's to give, if anything, kudos or a tip of the hat to Aquarius energy, because it understands that in order for it to thrive, others must be able to thrive. And that's where that inherent service aspect comes into play, okay? And that's where the social justice factor comes into play. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Martin Luther King Jr. said something like that, if not that, because the point is, if you are putting people into confining boxed experiences, then you're not allowing for ultimately yourself as a reflection of said people to have free, open, liberated experiences. You're allowing yourself to also be put in that box or in that cage, okay? Because Aquarius understands the link. In other words, Aquarius understands the link between the people. And when you have a mirror aspect within different relationships in your life, and you're aware of that mirror aspect, even if that's not the language that you're using, as some of us like more spiritually woke people or whatever these days, when you are aware of that inherent link within each other, you become more aware that your sovereignty and your ability to shine is linked with other people's ability to shine. And that's why Aquarius is one of the strongest signs of the zodiac. It's also ruled by Saturn, as I said earlier. So Saturn's like a very intensely strong energy in the zodiac, right? We've talked about this in the video I just did, which you should check out if you haven't already, because it's very telling. If you start to understand what Saturn represents, and then you look at how Saturn rules, yes, Capricorn, an earth sign, and then Aquarius, an air sign, you can see the different octaves, if you will, of Saturnian energy. And when you put Saturn, the planet that rules time and structure and bones and teeth and everything third dimensional and everything, tangible, in an air sign, which is constantly fluid as the wind is like going on, right? You get this interesting mix, this milieu, if you will, this area, okay, for those of you who don't speak hoity-toity French. And I don't either. I'm just making a joke. I just know that word. But anyway, you get a milieu, you get an environment of awakening, because what you do at that point is you recognize that there is a unity within the third dimension. There is a social aspect within this hard planet, this tangible, physical, very difficult, for all intents and purposes, planet that is Earth. There's a lot of hard rock on this planet that needs to be moved or whatever. There's a lot of physical realities of laundry and duties and oil changes and just all the little things like washing dishes, all the little tasks that add up over the time of a lifetime and the time of any given day. Things that you need to get done. There's all this work here on Earth. Earth isn't like this easy place, is my point. You gotta work out to get strong here, you feel? But when you put Saturn in an air sign that is Aquarius, the sign that it rules besides Capricorn in ancient astrology, you get an awareness that heaviness that is Saturn, it must also apply to and serve the social aspects of life, the people that you relate with at a daily level, the conversations that you have at a daily level, those all are connected to Saturn through the sign of Aquarius. Because Aquarius is, again, an air sign, but it's ruled by Saturn. So you get to think about and understand, if you are an Aquarius, you kind of just understand this, generally speaking, if you're in the high vibe, right? That you are here to serve the structure of humanity in some way, shape, or form. And that can look very different. There's as many different ways that can manifest as there are Aquariuses on the planet, because Aquarius is unique and no Aquarius is the same. That's part of the Aquarian charm, is that they're all different in their own unique ways, right? So there's that. In a low vibe, as I said, Aquarius can be like very maniacally like twisted and like two-sided because they're an air sign, but confining, you know, to totally falling out of Aquarius high vibe energy, confining through systems, through structures, confining through larger systems and structures. Try not to get the filters to wake up to all the wisdom I'm dropping on these wisdom drops, if you feel what I'm saying. But larger global initiatives from forces behind the scenes that are not so savory and not so awakened to their own inherent understanding that if you put others in boxes, you're putting yourself in a box. Not in their MLK Jr. vibes, in other words. That can be a shadow aspect of Aquarius. It can be solely motivated from its own sense of freedom through imposing limitations in a low vibe Saturn aspect on others, enslavement on others, through technology, because Aquarius rules technology. Connecting the dots, internet, censorship, those two things in and of themselves are Aquarian, independently of each other. Why? Well, Aquarius rules technology, and, you know, the internet is a form of technology. But it also is ruled by Saturn, so it understands confines and limitations and imposing said structural limitations and confines. Because Saturn, just as much as it is an opener to different experiences through its force of no energy, again, watch the video I just did if you didn't already, it is also a restrictor, very much so. It's known more so for being a restrictor than it is a giver in modern astrology. But, you know, ancients understood Saturn as giving you more of what you authentically are, who you authentically are, through taking away, through the process of no, through the process of eliminating various aspects of yourself and various experiences, you become more authentically yourself. So when you apply that wisdom of Saturn to Aquarius, an air sign, a fixed air sign, you begin to see how those dots can connect, how those messages can combine, and to go really either well in service to others at this level I've been talking about for the majority of this video, or really low and maniacal and like selfish and twisted. Okay? Yeah, I think that's about all I want to say on Aquarius. So if you want a reading from me, I do those. I love interpreting unique charts and helping you address different aspects of your character, your soul's experience, your goals throughout life, helping you understand how you can better accomplish those goals. It's like what I live for. So you can reach out to me at WizdomDropz, that's all Z's, at gmail.com. The information for that is down below. If you enjoyed this video and it brought you any value, hit the like button, heart it, whatever. And also put a comment down below letting me know, if you're an Aquarius, what do you feel is like most Aquarian about your Aquarius energy? What do you feel most aligned with as an Aquarius, period? Like, what do you feel like are some of your core identifying traits? I would love to know. So with that said, thank you for all the love, and may the stars be with you. Peace.